Vilgax, conqueror of 10 worlds and perennial foe of Ben Tennyson.
Ridley, cunning space pirate and nemesis of Samus Aran.
These two relentless alien tyrants will stop at nothing to claim their prize, and go to the ends of the earth and beyond just to bring their enemies pain out of pure spite.
You already know who we are.
And we're here to research their strength, speed, talents, and tech to find out who would win. In a deep and desolate corner of the universe, there sits a planet whose history has been lost to time.
And from this world rose the deadliest creature in the universe, a warlord who left nothing but ruin in his wake, any efforts to uncover his history being snuffed out.
A conqueror was all he was, and as he stood atop the newly dominated planet, he would rechristen it as Vilgaxia, named after its new ruler, Vilgax.
Vilgax was a chimera sui generis, or as they're known as now, Vilgaxians. They're super strong, super tough squid people, and stand at towering heights compared to humans.
Vilgax is one of the most feared beings in the galaxy for a reason. In his conquests, he was bold enough to issue a conqueror's challenge, putting his whole world on the line for the chance to personally fight an enemy champion for the fate of both worlds. And won in 10 of these.
Though the thing he sought more than anything else was an ultimate weapon, the most powerful piece of technology in the universe, a simple-looking alien device with secrets within, the Omnitrix.
Originally made as a tool for diplomacy, the Omnitrix allowed its wielder to shift into the form of almost any intelligent species in the universe, containing millions of DNA samples.
Vilgax wanted to mass-produce it, allowing his legions to assume the forms of even more powerful aliens and effortlessly lay waste to the cosmos.
Fortunately for all the other worlds out there, the Omnitrix already found a wielder, in the form of Earthling 10-year-old Ben Tennyson.
Vilgax would travel to Earth to retrieve it, but found that Ben was both unwilling to part with it and physically incapable of having it removed.
That wouldn't stop Vilgax from trying any number of torturous methods, and battling Ben time and time again.
He's strong enough to shake entire cities with his punches, hitting with 19 kilotons worth of TNT.
And tough enough to survive his entire ship blowing up on top of him, worth over 50 teratons of TNT.
This is all thanks in part to his cybernetic enhancements, a long-standing custom of the Vilgaxian people, amping his strength and speed to absurd levels.
He was able to fly from Petropia, a planet on the edge of the galaxy, to Earth in under an hour.
And he's more than just a brick shithouse. He can fire energy beams that chase people down, survive in space or underwater, and is an extremely tactical commander who can make almost any foe bend the knees through his ruthlessness alone.
He can also, for whatever reason, assume a colossal true form. Only when fully submerged. Because it's just a giant squid.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna come up a lot for a spacefaring conqueror. So, all Vilgaxians born this way? How do they become humanoid? Is it like squid puberty?
He's also a master of technology, like his flagship, the Chimerian Hammer, equipped with weapons capable of destroying planets.
But try as he might, and as many times as he bested Ben, he could never get the Omnitrix for himself.
Ben and his team would always be one step ahead, and Vilgax would begin to taste defeat for the first time in his life.
And so, he would team up with fellow villain Malware. Oh, sorry, did we say team up? We meant turn his corpse into armor!
With this new suit, dubbed the Malgax armor, Vilgax's already impressive strength and speed saw massive upgrades.
He could contend with some of Ben's heaviest-hitting aliens, like Waybig, who could intercept the Incursion Conquest Ray that was capable of destroying Pluto.
And since Malware was a mechamorph, Vilgax can use his power to shapeshift the armor and synthesize new tools, like making duplicates of swords or guns.
And, most frighteningly, it gives him mastery over technology, able to take over and control tech, or even break it down and unmake it entirely, making it part of himself.
It could also destroy the DNA of aliens within the Omnitrix, even though the Omnitrix DNA is hosted at a remote location. This somehow did not stop Malware from corrupting it from light years away.
And sometimes Vilgax even managed to get the Omnitrix. While he never keeps it for long, he's still powerful enough to reach that goal on multiple occasions, a testament to his sheer ferocity.
And as it turns out, Vilgax's quest was cyclical, for it was during a mission through time that Ben would transform in front of a younger Vilgax, inspiring his drive to pursue that same power.
And also, George Washington was there, and he cut down part of Vilgax's ship by throwing an axe at it, and this is where the cherry tree mess comes from, and also caused the Federation of Galactic Peacekeepers to form out of Mount Rushmore. So, man,
Even if all of his limbs are destroyed, he'll persevere. Don't get us wrong, he'll still need medical attention, but he can power through insane amounts of pain and bodily harm, and is ridiculously hard to put down for good.
he's enlisted bounty hunters, minions, and of course, evil killer robots, all in the name of expanding his galactic reign.
Not even imprisonment in the Null Void, an extra-dimensional prison beyond space, was enough to keep him out of the picture. Like any good villain, and any good commander, he'll claw his way back from the brink of defeat as many times as he needs to ensure the Omnitrix is his, and Ben Tennyson is ruined.
He's the strongest, toughest, meanest alien in the galaxy, and his campaigns across the stars won't stop until everyone falls to him.
Whether he be waging wars, battling heroes, or even accidentally forming cults, you can rest assured no one will escape his wrath, and no one is coming to save the day.
This is not over, Ben Tennyson. In fact, now that the secrets of the Omnitrix are mine, and there are none left to stop me, I'd say it's a rather auspicious beginning.
Citizens of the galaxy, tread carefully across the stars, for those unlucky enough to stray off course may find themselves falling victim to the dread space pirates.
Raiding Ravagers, striking ships for all they're worth and leaving in a flash. Taking slaves, claiming planets, nothing was off the table for these villains.
They were so notorious that they were the inciting factor for the Galactic Federation to even make a police force to begin with.
And such a crew was led by an equally despicable high command organization, including the most feared pirate of all, the cunning Ridley.
Ridley was a name echoed with fear by the Federation police, a fire-breathing god of death who brought nothing but carnage to any world he visited. He was not in this business for treasure, no. He sought only to bring pain and suffering to the galaxy.
Such as in one particular planet-side raid. While he was technically here to steal ore, his whole crew had free reign to slaughter anyone and everyone they felt like.
Ridley himself would even attempt to kill a 3-year-old child who tried to befriend him, only for her mother to save her. So Ridley just settled for killing her instead.
But her father, meanwhile, had sabotaged all that ore, and having blown up the ship and atmosphere above him, Ridley was caught in the rain of burning debris.
This, by all means, should have killed him, but Ridley's resilience is frankly absurd, and he regained his stamina by feasting on the charred flesh of the humans who died. Yeah.
Meanwhile, unbeknownst to him, that little girl had survived, and would go on to become his greatest enemy, the bounty hunter Samus Aran.
And Samus would need all the firepower she could muster to contend with Ridley. His towering draconic build obviously enables him to fly, and provides him with superhuman strength. He's even been able to overcome barriers that could hold back micro-black holes worth over a petaton of TNT, enough to level a continent, along with his ridiculous ability to power through even the most grievous of injuries.
Like when Samus would go on to take him down herself, rendering him mortally wounded, unable to fight ever again. He survived.
Rescued by the space pirates, his body would be augmented into the cybernetic Meta-Ridley. Though this is less of a power-up and more just life support. In fact, he's since regenerated his own flesh over the cybernetics, so he looks good as new.
So then Samus threw him off a cliff in a big explosion. So like a Tuesday for Ridley. The guy is as ruthless and cunning as he is sadistic, so once he got it in his head that Samus was his enemy, he would stop at nothing to turn her life into a living hell.
And after being seemingly killed, like 7 more times, and after exposure to the dark substance known as Phazon, he became Omega Ridley.
With Phazon, Ridley can infect his foes with the deadly radioactive substance, destroying and assimilating them into the Phazon in mere moments. Deadly for sure, and a great way for Ridley to end fights quick against stronger foes, just so long that they don't notice the big red weak point on his chest.
Which Samus did, and blew him up into Phazon particles. Except what actually happened is the meltdown blinded her, and Ridley, surprise, escaped. Those wings of his can carry him through deep space, even between solar systems. In fact, he made one such trip in such a short time frame that, assuming it took him no more than a day, he would have been flying at over 1,500 times light speed.
And then promptly slaughtered an entire research station, prompting Samus to show up once more for their final showdown, in the 3rd game of the franchise. That's right, this timeline basically ends with the SNES game, and almost everything since has been a prequel.
And so, after blasting him to pieces, dropping him into lava, and then blowing up the planet he was on, Ridley finally died. For good. He died this time, actually. Please tell me he actually died this time, actually.
And then they made a clone of him!
The clone's not actually him, okay? It doesn't count. It's like a weird, fuzzy egg.
And then it turned into this thing! We already had squid puberty, now get ready for dragon puberty!
So then they froze the clone, but then an evil virus possessed it. Okay, man. Sure.
We're getting a bit off track here, but yeah, point is, this guy does not know when to die.
And even then, his memory would live on forevermore, as a specter of Samus's past, always over her shoulder. And yet, even against that, Samus would keep pushing, overcoming his sadistic spirit and carving her own name over his legacy. But it's only a matter of time until the nightmare of the past becomes very real once more, and Ridley shows the galaxy yet again that the cunning god of death will not be claimed. Okay, the fighters are ready, the numbers are crunched, and it's time to run this.
Let's get ready for a deathmatch!
Finally, ultimate power is mine. Your ego never fails you, Vilgax. More bodies to start the fire!
Wake up.
Off of me! Are all Vilgax so pathetic? Coward! Try to stop me. I do so enjoy seeing hope vanish from eyes. Oh, feeling sick, are we? Even my worst is enough to crush you. How interesting. Die! No! Another one is soon to fall. Another mark upon the wall! Come on then! Show me that Vilgaxian spirit! Such a proud conqueror. I can't wait to hear your screams, to listen to you gasp in pain as you bomb it up your own heart! Pain is nothing to me. I have 10 thrones on 10 worlds, and I shall mount parts of your bisected body to the walls of all of them! I have spoken already. Die! Yeah! Hand of the line! Even your final attack fails. Pathetic. Did it? No! There's the hope fading. Now then, I believe this is the part where you kill me.
Well, I guess you could say Vilgax won the battle, but lost the ow!
Both fighters here were relentless, but in the end, Vilgax would be the one to stand victorious.
And to explain why, let's look at those strengths, speed, survivability, and power-ups.
Starting with the obvious, it's no surprise Ridley takes survivability here.
Vilgax could survive his ship exploding? Cute. Ridley could survive that on a bad day, and has come back from way worse stuff before.
Ridley's sheer ability to push through pain and injury and always seem to defy death is frankly absurd, and would absolutely catch Vilgax off guard, especially if he's expecting a clean kill.
The point goes to Ridley there, but Vilgax would be able to match this via his speed.
While both have feats of crossing cosmic distances, Vilgax's are simply just more impressive.
Comparing Ridley's solar system crossing trip to Vilgax's flight from Metropia, Vilgax's trip comes out as much faster than what Ridley was working with, reaching millions or even upwards of billions of times light speed, compared to Ridley's trip being somewhat over 1,000 times.
Such blistering speed would allow him to keep up with Ridley's tricks and comebacks, but wouldn't guarantee him a win alone.
So let's look at their big guns, Phazon and the Malware.
Put bluntly, both of these are incredibly deadly tools. Either would have the possibility of putting the other down for good, and either side could ensure a win should they connect.
The Phazon corruption would definitely be enough to eat away at Vilgax, while Malgax's tech manipulation would let him royally mess up Ridley's own cybernetic components.
So, in this regard, it's safest to say that Phazon and Malgax accomplish much the same end result, and we call it a tie here.
meaning it's gonna come down to who's stronger. And in that regard, yeah, it's curtains for Ridley.
Ridley is absolutely no slouch, but nothing he had was gonna compare to feats like way big blocking a beam capable of destroying Pluto, not even the micro black hole.
Combined with Vilgax's greater speed, he'd have no problem simply tearing Ridley apart or corrupting him with malware before Phazon ever had a chance to land.
So with that, Vilgax takes strength and takes the lead overall.
Though, of course, killing Ridley would still expose Vilgax to Phazon in the ensuing meltdown, so not like he's getting off scot-free.
Ridley was as cunning as they come, but Vilgax's superior speed, indomitable strength, and technological corruption was enough to put the space pirate down one final time. Like, actually, for realsies.
Vilgax put them all in Mollusk and scored the win. Guess you could call that a birdie.
This match's winner is Vilgax.